So, Gonzalo, for you, what are the main issues in the agricultural world in Europe right now?
For us, I think in Europe there are several problems that farmers are facing, but I think a common one will be that we are very disconnected from the consumers. So we as farmers, we don't cultivate for consumers, we cultivate for intermediaries, and intermediaries are not giving us what is the price that we are going to be able to sell next season. So we cultivate without knowing even if we are going to have enough demand for our products.
So, Gonzalo, next question. What is the most efficient approach to create a more sustainable agriculture for you?
For me, the most impactful approach is to shorten the chains. Giving the farmers the possibility to sell to end consumers motivates you a lot because you receive feedback from people that value your product and value the way you are cultivating. So when you feel the support of the consumers, you are willing to take more risk and make your farming practices more sustainable.
Okay, Gonzalo, are you ready for the hot topic question?
Coming from a French woman,
Yeah.
everything is
Careful.
be careful.
What do you think about the subsidies?
Wow, subsidies. It's a complex topic to have a single opinion. Well, it shouldn't be so complicated, but since they have been in the farming industry for so long, I think they have complicated so many things. Well, as a starting point, me personally, as a farmer, I don't like subventions. I receive subventions. We receive subventions here in Marcial Carmen. We receive around 50,000 euros per year of subventions, so it's an important sum of money for us. But I think that they are not really helping farmers cultivate in a more sustainable way, for example. And as a consumer that I buy my products, I know that the price that I am paying of the products is not the real price, because I know that a big part of our taxes are going for these subventions. So first things, I think that Europeans must know that what they are paying in supermarkets for the fruit is not the final price of what they are paying for their food. The final price is this price that they are paying to supermarkets, but also what they are paying through their taxes. So I think subventions are also allowing supermarkets buy cheaper products from the farmer. I know there is a lot of details. No, Gonzalo, the subventions are very necessary because otherwise farmers will not be able to buy tractors and so on. But I think that if you are giving subventions year on year on year on year on year, at the end you are not allowing to the food supply chain has the right level, no? Because the tractor manufacturers know that farmers receive subventions, so they raise prices, so they don't offer the most competitive prices. So I think subventions can be useful if we want to change something in a very short period of time. For example, okay, let's support organic farmers in the transition for the 4 years that they are transitioning to organic, to have the organic certification. Or imagine that there is a disaster 1 year because of the climate conditions, and farmers are suffering a big drought, and what they were cultivating in their farm, they cannot longer cultivate these things, so they need to change their crops and so on. So I think I understand that some farmers will, for these specific reasons, will use these subventions in a good way. But I have so many examples of subventions that are given just to cultivate without any specific reason, and I think this is not fair.
Okay, Gonzalo, so as a farmer yourself, what do you hope will come out of the protests you see everywhere in Europe?
First, we need to understand that the origin of this protest comes from desperation. No? Desperation in terms of rules that farmers do not understand, desperation in terms of economic conditions that farmers that are creating not a competitive market for European products. So I mean, I understand this frustration, and I understand that farmers. I mean, if a farmer is leaving his or her farm in order to go to a city to protest, it's because the frustration is big, because most of the farmers that I know cannot leave their farms for too long. So if they go to this point that they are going to the cities to protest, it's because the situation is very difficult for them.
Okay, so we are not all farmers, but I think we are all impacted with this issue. So what do you think we can do as individuals to help with the situation?
Well, I think consumers are the key to solve most of the inefficiencies that we are living as farmers in the food supply chain. What consumers can do is to choose from where to buy their farmers. I mean, just to get conscious of what is the impact if they buy their fruit in one place, if they pay for their fruit what one price or another price, if they prefer to buy organic or not organic. All these decisions are having an impact at the start of the food supply chain.